In the third world, farmers have few crop options. Opium poppies, though, grow well in this part of the world. When it comes to feeding your family and servicing your debts, international drug policy counts for little.
Hi, I'm Opie.
This story follows the life of Opie as he progresses from a happy young fellow to travel vast distances and eventually discover his destiny and his potential to create danger. The poppy has a 10-month growth cycle. When ripe, the seed pod is sliced to release the sap from which the opium is derived. The opium sap is gathered by hand for processing into heroin. Once the harvest process is complete, the farmers then sell their produce for what we would consider to be a relatively small sum of money to manufacturers. The manufacturers then begin a complicated and time-consuming process of transformation. This transformation consists of very many stages, including boiling, the adding of various chemicals, and different forms of purification. Once the cook-up is complete, the manufacturers then dry the resulting product. This refinement process has changed Opie for good. No longer opium, he is now what we refer to as heroin. Opie is then packaged and ready for smuggling.
See ya, bye!
Manufacturers sell the heroin for 4 or more times the original purchase price and export it to destinations all around the globe. The proceeds of this trafficking has been linked to the funding of various international crime activities. Heroin smuggled into Western countries is distributed by criminal networks. Each set of hands it passes through results in a reduction of purity as it's cut to increase profits. It's then passed through smaller dealers and eventually onto users. Heroin use is illegal. Most users use at home and many alone. The powder is mixed with water. Heroin dissolves easily and it's drawn up into the syringe for administration. Australians are more likely to inject heroin compared to other heroin users around the world. People choose to inject heroin because they've built up a tolerance to the drug and they require a more efficient way to administer it. Injection carries with it many risks. This is Gino. He's a genotype 1 Hep C virus. Gino was picked up from a spoon that was used to mix heroin. Hey babe. Overdose, infection, and many other harms are strongly linked with injection.
Look at him.
Hey babe.
Hello.
All injecting equipment has the potential to carry blood-borne viruses. Hepatitis C virus is one of the common viruses transmitted via injection. Gino is now part of the story. Opie and any stowaway viruses mingle with blood and circulate throughout the body. Opie easily crosses the blood-brain barrier to access the brain, where he seeks out specific receptor sites with which to bind and exert his power. This process takes place rapidly, so much so that the user experiences a rush and is consumed by the onset of Opie's effects. Heroin is a depressant. It slows down the central nervous system. The user's pupils constrict, his mouth dries, heart slows, breathing slows, bowels slow. Everything slows down. As his drug-induced bliss intensifies, he moves closer and closer to death. The closer he is to death, the greater the pleasure he experiences. If this process goes too far, however, he will overdose, thereby losing consciousness, he'll stop breathing, his heart will stop, and unless someone intervenes, he'll die. If a fatal overdose does not occur, eventually Opie's powers will be spent. He'll drop from the receptor, he'll leave the brain, and move back into the bloodstream. Opie's body is carried by the blood to the liver, where it is metabolized. Opie's remains are extracted from the blood by the kidneys, then stored in the bladder to be expelled from the body to a watery grave.